So, you're thinking about buying a bike. You've decided what bike you want. I'm not going to try and tell you what you should buy because I don't know you. I don't know what you want, what you're going to use it for and everything. But I can help you with the next question you'll have when you're buying a bike. And that is, do I buy a used one or a new one? So do you buy one second, third, fourth hand, or do you get one straight out of the factory? Now this bike is the fourth bike I have bought, and it is the third brand new bike. I had a brand new Kymco Agility RS50, a 11-year-old Suzuki EN125, a brand new WK125 Cruiser, and the brand new KTM RC390. So you can probably guess my thoughts on what if you should buy new or used. I prefer brand new bikes, just because I know their history is clean. If you're buying a used bike, you've got to know what you're looking for when you look at the bike. That's something I will say. Always go and look at the bike before you buy it. But when you go and look at a used bike, you've got to know exactly what you're looking for. What if there's any damage, if there's damage you can't see but you think it might be there. You've got to really have an eye of what you're looking for. So if you do that, always take someone that knows what they're looking for. When I bought my Suzuki, my dad came with me. He ran a bike shop and a little racing team. He knows exactly what to look for when you're looking at bike damage. So there's tip number one. You've got to know what you're looking for. And that's an advantage that the new bikes have over the second-hand ones. Because with a brand new bike, you know that has gone from the factory to the dealership to you. You know it's never been written off. You know there's no damage that can't be seen. You know it's perfect. But to be honest, if you're buying your first bike, don't buy a new one, because the odds are against you. You're more likely to crash your first bike than you are any other bike. It's probably a better idea to save some money, get a second, third, fourth hand one, because you're probably going to be spending some money repairing it. But again, buying a second-hand bike, be careful. Take someone who knows what they're looking for. But for your first bike, used is the better option, because you don't want to get a brand new first bike and a couple of months later spin it down the road. You're going to look like a tit and you're going to have to pay for repairing a brand new bike, which is never fun, believe me, because that is the mistake I made. My first bike, 50cc moped, I bought it brand new, 1,500 quid, and yes, a couple of months later I span it down the road. Now, you're never going to feel good spinning a bike down the road, but you feel a lot worse when it is brand new. If it's a second-hand bike, you know it's not going to be 100% perfect. So there's that voice in the back of your mind that just goes, at least it wasn't brand new. The Suzuki I had, I was the 11th owner. I destroyed that thing. Went back the next day after I crashed it and picked bits of the bike back up. I'm just happy that wasn't a brand new bike, because I'd only had that for 6 months. Not even 6 months. 3 months, I think. And yes, I've even dropped this one already. Little spin, 20 mile an hour, if that. Little bit of damage, not too much, but I hated myself for it because it was brand new. I had had it for 2 months. 2 months. And the bike was literally 2 months old. It had only just come out of the factory when I bought it. But yeah, for your first bike, find a good used one, because they're not going to cost anywhere near as much as brand new, and the odds are you're going to crash it. I'm not saying you're all bad riders, I'm just saying 90% of bikers will crash their first bike, and the other 10% will probably crash in the future. They're more likely to crash than not crash once in their biking career. But that's just something you accept when you ride a bike. You know you're more at risk than someone in a car. But again, when you're thinking about buying a bike, you've got to think price range. What are you willing to spend? What is your maximum amount of money that you will spend on a bike? If you're looking for 1,000 cc's for a few grand, you're going to be looking for something a few years old. But if you're like me and you thought, I want something less than 400 cc, 390, that'll do it, and I've got enough money to buy a new one, I'd rather buy a new bike. So I went out and bought this one brand new. So yeah, you've got to think about how much money you're willing to spend on a bike, and then that money will determine if you can buy new or used. If you've got unlimited money, you're probably going to buy brand new and don't care if you crash it, because you've got all the fucking money in the world. You can buy a new one if you want. Oh no, I crashed it. Looks like I'm buying another bike. Wish I could do that. Yeah, the main things you've got to think about: is it your first bike? If yes, seriously think about getting a used one. Unless you've got enough money that you know that you want a brand new bike because you know it's got a clear history, and you've got enough money to repair it if you crash it and maintain it, because remember, a used bike has already gone through its first lot of services. Hopefully, if it hasn't, you'll pick that up when you go and look at it. When a bike's brand new, it's got quite a lot of services quite early on. My WK that I had a 250 mile service, 500, 1000, 1500, 2500, 5000. Those were the first few services. And if you think about that as between £50 and £100 per service, you're going to be spending a lot of money just keeping that bike as good as it is. But a used bike that's a few years old, it's gone through all the quick services. It's just on the normal every few thousand mile services. So you're not going to spend near as much money maintaining it. So it's cheaper to buy, cheaper to run, and cheaper to repair. So yeah, that's what you've got to think about. Do you want to try and maintain a brand new bike, or are you happier maintaining a slightly older one? That person was going way too slow. I'd only just noticed how slow he was going. But yeah, remember, if you are buying a used bike, take someone who knows what they're looking for in regards to damage, because you don't want to buy a bike and find out that it's completely fucked 100 miles after you bought it. I hope you've noticed here that I'm not saying you should buy new or you should buy used. I'm just saying, in my opinion, used is better for this, new is better for that. I'm giving you both sides of the story so you can make your own mind up. I'm giving you the information you need to make your decision. I'm not forcing my opinion on you. So I hope that has been helpful, and I hope you now know if you want to buy a used bike or a new bike. So thank you for watching. If you've liked the video, please leave a like. If you haven't, oh Jesus, sorry. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Check out my other videos. Some of them are pretty good, some of them are really not. I like to think the majority is good. And remember, if you think this video is going to be helpful to someone else, please share it. It really helps my channel if I get shares. I'm not trying to be pushing someone to do it. I'm not saying share my videos, do it. It really does help. So if you think you know someone that might like it, please do. So thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll catch you all next time.
Back from the dead.